this video, basically, I'm going to teach you a basic things or concept that you can use on our MPI, because later on we're going to use our MPI. I already told you before in previous class that our software will be using Open MPI, and it is under Linux, which is, I did mention, I think that our Linux is Ubuntu, but it is depend on you. If let's say you have already installed Fedora, Red Hat, or any kind of Linux, you still can use that. But I do believe, if let's say you are doing the research on Linux, you can see that Ubuntu is the most friendly user for the user itself. So in this class, in this course, HPDP, we're going to use Ubuntu, and for mine, is basically I need to use the virtual box, because I didn't create any partition just for my Linux. So that's why I already uploaded the documentations by Dr. Ismail. He's the one, the course owner, since I think previously 2000 or 2019. I don't know when he start, basically, but yeah, this is a manual from him. So what you need to do first is you need to install VirtualBox. I just said for someone that didn't have the partition for Linux. So if you use just a normal window like me, and any kind of window, mine is Mac OS, so I need to use the VirtualBox. So from the VirtualBox, I will create the virtual machine for my Linux Ubuntu. And my Linux, let me show you. Okay, because I'm using MacBook, so what I need to do is I need to open it as administrator by using my terminal. You also can use your terminal if you are using Windows 10 and etc. But using normal window, you can just right click on your application for your VirtualBox, and then there is details over here, option for you to pick and choose to use as open as administrator, something like that. So over here, I'm going to type sudo virtual. So it will request me to key in my password. So I already key in it. Why I did not open it directly from my application? I can have open my VirtualBox from my application, but I didn't. This is because I want to use it as administrator, and I can use many features. If let's say I did not use as administrator, there is something function that lacks. So over here, I already installed my Ubuntu, and my version of Ubuntu is stated over here. Should be stated, but it's okay. It's depend on you what kind of version that you are using. But for me itself, what I can comment throughout on the version of any kind of software, I didn't prefer to pick the latest one. I did not prefer, because some of you maybe like to uh, maybe some of you like to pick the latest version. If let's say you can have a look on your phone itself, let's say, oh, there is new version, and then you need to update, directly you update. But for me, I don't want, because something new, we don't know, there is also a bugs. That's why we keep going, getting a new version, because a new version is the one that will uh, handle or solve the current bugs. But if let's say your current version is already okay, why you need to update it? So just because you need a new features. So for my perspectives of use, I don't want to use the latest one, because I know for the latest one is also of a few only people that you are using, that are using, and it's very hard if let's say I having a problem, so I need to find it through Google, to forum. And for the stable version that available, I can easily get many others resources. If let's say I having an error, so I can just directly go for Google and find any forum, a lot of solving solution on that, but not too backdated one. So as long as maybe one versions back from the latest one is okay. So over here, what I'm mumbling on, over here, this is my virtual box, and I install my MPI in my Ubuntu. So maybe I can show you how the features. I do believe, because all of you is already third year, and I hope that you familiar with Linux, especially Ubuntu, and also you have the basic knowledge on playing around with C and C programming. Let me start my engine. So here is my Ubuntu. I really don't like this kind of view, because last time when I'm doing my master and also PhD, I use totally separate partition from my window itself. So now I need to use a virtual box, which is not good in graphic. I think so. So here is my Ubuntu, and what I'm going to do and show in this video is, let me see. Okay, you're going to install your C and C++ compiler. I hope that you can try to install it by yourself. So first thing of all, if let's say you already install your Ubuntu, you can open your terminal. If you cannot find it on your application here, you can find it through this app, or type here terminal, and you can having this one, and I want to make it as so. Let me go back. So now I have my terminal open. So this is how it's going to like, and what you need to do is basically you can type sudo update. I'm too lazy to type. Where's my update? And why you need sudo? Sudo is basically for you to add as administrator. So you can also try to type apt update, which is you need to get an update, but you can see also there is a permission denied, depend on how your privacy setting in your Ubuntu itself, in your virtual box, and also on your Windows and laptop or computer. So that's why I need my sudo in front, as to mention that I am the administrator. So please give me the permission to do anything and editing to my, let's say, terminal or my program and my Windows Linux. And I type here, and they will require you on password. I don't know whether you are feel boring listening to this, because this is just basic information, but yeah, maybe you already forgot about that. Why don't I just share it, right? So you type your password, of course you cannot see it. That is my problem, because it is cap lock, and I always been trigger whether the cap lock is on or not. Okay, now after I correctly typing my password, I press enter, and it will directly connected to the internet. If you're not connected to the internet, don't update, because what update you want. So you need to connect to the internet, and of course there is another way. Let's say you didn't do any setting, and then you want to try to update, and you cannot get any update. You cannot even open your Firefox, your Thunderbird's mail, which is all connected to internet. You cannot open. It is because your internet setting in your Ubuntu itself. And if you don't have any experience on how to dealing with connection in your Ubuntu and also your VirtualBox, you can easily go here. I share you. There is an icon at below of this, which is on your network setting. So quite easy, because you can just directly find it, and you can also find it in your search bar on your network setting. So you can have options on network control, how you connect to the internet, and etc. So for me, I can just easily change my internet connection via this icon. I connect it, and then I click network setting. So currently, uh, if you can see, if you are using PCs, you can have many kind of adapter, maybe your cable internet adapter, and also which is network card, and also your wireless network card, which is maybe on your adapter 2 and etc. But for mine, I didn't have an IC net, which is the cable network card. So I'm just using my wireless network card. So over here, if you can see, there is a lot of network card basically in your computer or laptop, depending on your computer itself. But for me, by default, it will be NAT. By default, my programming, my software for this VirtualBox is NAT. So I cannot even connect. Let me try. I cannot even update, because there is no internet connection. It's trying to connect, but connection will be fail, because I am using NAT. Is it connected? Last time you can connect, because I need to renew the IP. I think. Let's try. whether it is okay or not. Still waiting. So what happened? Nothing happened. I think because of the internet itself also. So I having a problem when I connect it to anything because there is no internet connection over here. You can see how come it get connection? Or it read the previous file install. Release is not available yet. Uh, Supposedly, because last time I'm having difficulty when I connect to the NAT, but now it's okay. I don't know what happened, but yeah, if you having the problem same with mine, so you can use the bridge adapter and you select which network card that you are currently use. If let's say because I'm having difficulty on connecting to my internet when I'm using the NAT. So maybe let's try to open my Firefox. I don't know whether it is system or what, but sometimes people also having difficulty and problem on their setting and etc. So that's why I want to share with you what happened to me itself when I want to connect to my internet while using my virtual machine. So of course the virtual machine taking quite long in time on opening any kind of application inside it. So please stay tuned and be patient. So over here I try to open, this is currently open my email address. Let's close, I don't want you to see my email. There's nothing in there. uh, why don't we go to utm.my. There is internet connection now. Yes, that is internet connection. Okay, now I'm successfully use my NAT. Previously I cannot use, but still let's wait for it to reload. But we can see that there is a transferring that data from UTM.my. So now I can successfully use my NAT. But you can also try it because sometimes our device itself have a problem with the connection, the setting. So it depends on what type of laptop or computer also that you are using. Okay, it's work now for now. uh, so I just want to share, if let's say you want to try to deal with your network, because you need to update, you need to install the GCC, you need to install your uh, MPI, so you need the internet connection. You can have you try and pick which one is can use for your network, because there is also NAT network. But for me last time I can just use bridge adapter for my internet connection. So it's okay as long as you can install your API, your Ubuntu. So now what happened is our next step, after we install, we update, and you need to also install your C compiler, your CC and etc. But if you can see over here, when I open this link, I think this link is wait. So I think this link is very useful for you to check on. This link was provided by Dr. Ismail, and you can go through and follow the step. So I just try to open for you for your information, and you can just go through which is good for your basic. And if let's say you already forgot about Ubuntu and the commands that you need to use, so after you install your update, you need to install the GNUC compiler. So you can also, but for my case, I did not use sudo apt upgrade because I really don't like to upgrade my version, because currently if I am okay with my version, I just use the current version. As long as maybe there is features that I really need, then I will update. So if depend on you, if let's say you want to update your Linux version, it's okay, then you can just go through the sudo apt-get update. And then you can have another one is sudo apt install build essential. So this one is also very good for your step. Over here I just paste because this one I already done basically when I am installing my MPI. Just go through, as let's say you need this video for your guide, and maybe you have the problem to do it by your own, so it will require me a password because I think it's already quite long. I just make it idle. So I install it, and I will try to install my GCC, and I will make after I grab it, and then I install using make command. After this 1 2 3 4 5 command, you are eligible to run your C compiler or C++ compiler. It's taking quite long, especially when you are dealing with virtual machines and also about connections on your internet. And then you can install for mine, because I already familiar with sudo, so I always type sudo. It's depend on you, you can just directly type cc, but for mine I like to sudo gcc and then -p. I think nothing happened because I already installed it previously. It's mentioned my GCC version also, and I make it as to install it. So you can see what version I am using, what GNU, what software version, and etc. And I can currently compile my C or CCC programming or coding. So after that, you can go through also what other important features that you need to install, but for now it's already okay. For our MPI, basic MPI is already okay. You can directly follow the next instruction in our manual. So first of all, let's try to compile and build our first hello coding. So this is the coding that already given in your manuals. Wait. Okay, I continue back. So if let's say you can see here, you need to compile this coding, but before you can compile, you need to have the file, your C programming file. So how you going to make it? You can just directly type sudo over here, and then you can gedit or make a new file directory in your Ubuntu. But I'm not going to show it currently for your this video, because I want you to create it manually first. I don't know whether you already familiar and master in Ubuntu, because last time my master project is totally using Ubuntu, so it's not problem with me. But if you still beginner, you can just using a manual way to create your C file. So I show you how you're going to do the C file. You can either use your Office Writer, and but if you are using Office Writer, there is no versions or types .c. I show you just to show and share with you why you cannot use, and how you can use it. Takes a few minutes. Hope only for a second. Okay. You can see over here. This is the Office Writer for you. And let's say you type something command. Normally, if it is a coding or programming file, you can see anytime you are doing the command or coding, you will get the color different when you are typing a new command. But this one is just totally a normal text, but you still can use it. There is the option, okay, when you want to save it. Let's say you save, and then over here you can see that there is no c.c. You cannot use it directly as the C file, C programming file, but you can still just saving it. I show you, let's say test, because you want to create a new file just for your programming later on. So let's say I put test coding. So I want to put it on my desktop, so easy for me to find it later on. And just desktop, and I save it. Okay, test coding, and I save. What you're going to see is, you can see on your desktop, you already create a new file. This one, it's different. I already create a new test file, which is C programming file. You can see this is how it look like if you have the C programming file in your Ubuntu. But this is totally not your programming file. It is ODT, which is word version for Ubuntu or Linux. But I still can change it later on. Sorry, I double click. So over here, why I open, I right click on this document. It's too slow. Wait. Okay, I right click on this document and I rename it. There is many others way, but yeah, you can try many kind of ways on to doing this. I type test coding.c, so I rename. I don't like this Ubuntu. It takes too long just to do what our instruction. Okay, I already renamed it. Now it already changed to .c and totally icon is similar. But what happened inside, if you open it, it will give you a warning because you directly change from your text document to your C programming, which is you cannot directly convert. Although you try it many times, you still cannot. So what is my point is, just you type edit anyway and you delete all, because what is the purpose of mine currently is just for you to create a file. So I will delete all inside here because this one is basically the programming on what happened to your document after corrupt being corrupt, because you just directly convert by using rename from your ODC to C file. I don't know whether this is help for you, or maybe you did not having any problem with this. You feel like, oh, what is this video I'm talking about? But it's useful for someone that really beginner and don't know anything about Ubuntu. So I'm just sharing. If you think that you already master with it, so just ignore this part. Why it's too long? I cannot select all. I don't know what happened, but maybe for your computer you can just select all and delete. I try to select all, but yeah, the function is not. Okay, now you can see my text document last time is already converted to C. How you can see is when you type the new command, let's say include studio. Why I always forgot to type. So you can see it changes in color, means that this is a coding. So you just save. And why I want to show you the very complicated way, because you have the correct way to do by just using the text editor. This is where you should use, and for you to just writing down the programming inside here. But why and the purpose is because sometimes you have the coding in your words and you directly download it from your email on your Ubuntu, and you just don't want to copy it paste to your text, so you can just download and rename it. So it is, that's why I mentioned there is many way on doing this. So over here you need to type this command. Let me check whether I have the command available in my MPI. Is it this one? Not this one, because this one I also want to show you the dummy one. So mine is here, and I will delete any all others document which is not necessary. Oh, it is here. Which one is correct? Okay, this command, this coding, you can see your include, it's German, and then you print display string, insert your quotation, which is you will insert. This one is just a command for you, the instruction. If let's say you use the printf, you're going to print anything inside here. So let's say instead of I just writing out everything hello world, so why don't I just type hello world, I am Nurhaliza, nice to meet you, thank you for watching my videos, and I save this document. So you can also just directly open it using sudo gedit, but you need to basically point your you can directly use and point it to your file over here by using the terminal. Sorry, I have the instruction for a while. Okay, over here you can just directly doing this sudo gedit and then your file name, but your terminal over here you need to point where is your file. If let's say you just type a sudo gedit and then you name it as, let's say, test.c, but you did not point it up to correct path, so it also will show you an error. Let's say I show you something like this. Where is mine currently? I do ls, which is by using ls command, it instruct list what is available in current directory. So in current directory I have the file, I have the folder. You can see the different type of colors that listed. So let's say over here this is folder, the folder currently, this is the inside folder for uh, this is the inside folder, and then this one is the file. So no, this one is the output file, this one is a file itself, and this is the folder. Folder blue color, this one is the output file or application, this one is a file. And I know that my test.c is on top my desktop, so I need to point it to my desktop. So I go to cd and then I double tap. Sorry, I cannot double tap because there is many. So I tap des first and then I tap, so it automatically will get desktop. So I press enter. So over here now I already point it to my desktop. Let's see, is it my part is correct or not. I type ls, so I can see, oh, there is a mpi folder, there is test.c file. You can see the different color for .c, which is file, and mpi is the folder. So this is folder, this is file. Okay, let me try. Is it incorrect password? Okay, now if let's say I type sudo gedit and my file name, it's directly open this one, open this file, so I can directly edit my programming and etc. And then I close. It will saying, if let's say you do some changes, it will say whether you want to save it or not. So now let's go to our main point, which is we want to compile this file. This file, I put it into my MPI folder, and where is it? I forgot. I think example.c or in hello world. Let's check first. Okay, this is the file that I want to compile, and then I need to build and execute. So there is 3 steps for me, and I close first, so it is inside my MPI folder. So currently I am at desktop. My path currently on my desktop, so I need to go to MPI. I type cd and then I type MPI and press enter. Now I am at MPI, so I just wondering whether I'm correct or not. I type ls to show, and here I am. I want to compile my exam.c. Before that, I show you in my MPI I only have one file named as example.c. So after I compile, you can see that there is a different on my MPI folder. Let's check. So how I'm going to compile is sudo gcc -c, and then I type my file name is example.c. So there is no error, there is no warning, so means that my programming is okay. And then the second step I need to build. Before that, I show you what happened inside. So after I build, I can see there is another file called example.o, which is the output file after this. But before I can use it, before I can build and execute, I need to compile it. So I already successfully compile, and the second step is on the building. This is the second step. So I type sudo gcc -o, and this part I need to create the output file. I can name any kind of name for my output file, but for my compiling file, I need to point with the correct file. So over here, let's say I want to use my name as the output file. So I type Lisa. It's quite hard for me if I'm using cap lock. Lisa. Lisa. And then I type my file name, which is example.c. Let's see what happened. Oh, I forgot to put minus. Oh, no need. So over here, minus O already here. So minus O means that I am creating my new output file, which is named as Lisa. So I press enter and done. What happened to the folder of MPI? So you can see there is output file named Lisa over here. So easy peasy, easy peasy. Now what happened to our file? How are you going to execute it? So there is many ways also, but just a simple one. You can use sudo dot slash the output file name, which is you call this output file. You press enter. Now you can see, hello world, I am Nurhaliza, nice to meet you, thank you for watching my video. So it's quite simple, isn't it? So you can try to use and writing several uh, command rather than just using this one. You can rather than you just using this C programming file. You can try to Google any kind of C programming file and you try to compile, build and execute. So I think only that for today. For this video. So later on I will create a new video just to share with you on how you to compile the MPI, because it's quite different, not totally different but slightly different. You need the MPI library and etc. Oh, I forgot to show you the MPI installation, but it's okay now. You can use the C and you can compile and you can execute. This is only totally on C, not include the MPI yet. So I think it's already long enough for one video. Later on I will create another video focusing on MPI, so I've already forgot about my objective here. Okay, thank you for watching and have a nice good day.